Three men have today been found guilty of the murder of Ramey Salem in Sheffield following a 7-week trial at Sheffield Crown Court. They were also found guilty, along with another man, of their involvement in a series of firearms discharges and drug offences across Sheffield, which culminated in the murder of Ramey Salem. A further man and woman had earlier pleaded guilty to their part in the earlier offences. Ramey Salem was gunned down in cold blood on the 16th of November 2020. The court heard how, at just before 1:30 in the morning, police were notified by the ambulance service that a 20-year-old Ramey had been shot inside an address on Grimsthorpe Road South in Sheffield. 2 shots were fired into the lounge of the property before Ramey fled into a hallway and then a bathroom. One of the offenders chased him and further shots were fired. When police arrived on scene 5 minutes later, Ramey's friend had already taken him to hospital. He died there a short time later due to a number of wounds to his chest and heart. A murder investigation was launched, and following extensive inquiries, Jabari Fanty, who's 19, Aaron Yanbak, who's 20, and Ricardo Nkanyezi, who's 20, were identified as being involved. They were arrested between the 20th and 28th of November and later charged with murder. Senior Investigating Officer, Detective Chief Inspector Mark Oughton said this was a complex investigation lasting over 18 months, with a team of detectives working to ensure the suspects were identified, detained, and put before the courts. Through an intensive investigation, the team were able to establish through ballistic examination that the 2 guns fired at the scene of the murder had been used in other incidents, which I'll come on to in a moment, and were likely to be converted blank firing pistols. As a result of the operation, 2 further converted blank firing pistols were recovered, as well as controlled drugs. Fanty, Yanbak, Nkanyezi, and the other defendants, Jordan Foot, Salma Shazad, and Samsul Mohammed, who's actually been done for the murder of a solicitor in Sheffield, were linked to the shootings through extensive forensic work, telephone analysis, and the viewing of hundreds of hours of CCTV. A circumstantial case was built which established a network of gun crime, gang rivalry, street violence caused by the supply of Class A drugs. DCI also continued this was a group with access to firearms who were supplying drugs across the county line network. They were not concerned with who were caught up in their crimes and thought they were above the law. The investigation demonstrates the tenacity of South Yorkshire Police in dealing with these types of offences. Our thoughts remain with the family of Ramey. Although these sentences will never bring him back, I hope they can feel that justice has been served and some kind of closure, knowing they are off the streets. So I just want to say rest in peace, Ramey Salem, and my condolences go out to your family. So Jabari Fanty, Aaron Yanbak, and Ricardo Nkanyezi were found guilty of murder. During the trial, Fanty, Yanbak, Nkanyezi, and Foot were also found guilty of additional charges of conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life from the 3rd of October to the 18th of November and a conspiracy to possess ammunition. This included firearm discharge on the 4th of October 2020 in Sheffield, 19th of October in Sheffield, 2nd of November in Rotherham. They were also found guilty of conspiracy to supply a controlled drug from the 3rd of October to the 29th of November. Fanty, Yanbak, and Foot were also found guilty of attempted murder in Sheffield on the 31st of October. There was another lad, Samsul Mohammed. He pleaded guilty on the 5th of May to conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life and conspiracy to possess ammunition. However, he was also found guilty of the murder of Kurum Javed, the solicitor, on the 10th of April 2021 in Sheffield, where the same type of converted blank firing pistol and ammunition was used, and is yet to be sentenced. And then you've got Salma Shazad, who pleaded guilty to conspiracy to possess a firearm with intent to endanger life, conspiracy to possess ammunition, and conspiracy to supply a controlled drug. So guys, once again, I just want to say rest in peace, Ramey, and my condolences go out to your family. That's a story coming from Sheffield where 3 men have been found guilty of murder. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy JC. Keep it locked, keep it real.